Gunnar, and you are listening to Breathe In, a cystic fibrosis podcast presented by the Boomer Esiason Foundation and GunnarEsiason.com. This podcast series has been made possible by Vertex, Novartis, DCU, and Atlantic Health. The views expressed on Breathe In, a cystic fibrosis podcast are that of Gunnar Esiason, Lea Tiff, Tiffany Rich, and guests, and are not necessarily those of the Boomer Esiason Foundation. Nothing in this podcast series should be considered medical advice. Such advice can only be given by a physician who's experienced with cystic fibrosis. The Boomer Esiason Foundation, Gunnar Esiason, Lea Tiff, Tiffany Rich, and guests cannot be held responsible for any damage which may result from using the information on this podcast without the permission of your medical doctor. You're listening to Breathe In, a cystic fibrosis podcast.
Hi guys, welcome back to Breathe In. I'm Tiffany Rich, and I'm here with my salty sister, my best friend, Lea Tiff.
Hey guys.
Hi, Lea. So, Gunnar left us alone on this podcast.
He trusted us to do a podcast alone.
I don't know what he's thinking, but we're kind of ridiculous people, but it's fine.
I love it, though.
I know. So today we wanted to talk about the struggles of women with cystic fibrosis.
Yes.
I think it's not talked about, right?
It's not really talked about enough, or at least I've never really seen anything. Other than things we've posted or, you know, a couple other girls, like, in the CF community.
Yeah, I know there's some groups or something that talk about just girl stuff, but there's nothing, like, publicly out there.
Right.
Because being a woman in itself
is
hard. A struggle.
Yeah, it is a struggle.
It's complicated. We have a lot of challenges that arise naturally. And, you know, people just don't talk about that stuff because they don't feel comfortable.
Yeah,
but, you know, me
awkward,
and
you know?
We are fine with it.
I know, and we're, like, not awkward, or at least I don't think we're awkward people.
I don't think so. Yeah, so I remember I did a YouTube video on this before.
Yes, you did, yeah.
And it was just the struggles, because when I was going through being on the list and stuff, I had a lot of things going on.
Oh, yeah.
And then we would talk about our struggles of being a woman.
And I feel like they matched up for the most part, other than the fact that you were on oxygen and you couldn't really move. You know what I mean? But
yeah, exactly. Yeah. But we bonded in that way that we could talk about this stuff. So we hope that we can help other women in this way. So let's just jump into it. Okay, let's talk about the purse situation.
Oh my gosh, the purse situation is like the worst.
It is the worst. Okay, first of all, you can't breathe, and you have to lug this huge purse. It's a bottomless pit of a purse.
Right.
That's what I call it. And I don't know about you, but I had so much stuff in there before training.
I feel like you had more
I still do, but not as much, of course.
Right.
But with CF, we have to have so much. So what's in your purse?
Okay, so a couple years ago when my lung function kind of dropped, I had to learn how to carry, like, a smaller crossbody bag rather than, like, my huge purse. Because I just don't think people think about the fact of how heavy a purse is.
They don't.
You know what I mean? And, like, I hit a certain lung function, and it was like, oh, hey, you can't carry this anymore because guess what? You are not going to make it through your day.
It's like 10 pounds.
No, it legit is. Because I used to carry one of those, like, big, like, Longchamp purses, you know what I mean? And I would have, like, a water bottle in there. I would have all of my enzymes, every pill I could possibly need for any situation. You have your hand sanitizer. You have, like, wipes and things like that for different situations. I know you have a mask because, well, it's, you know, after transplant.
Lungs.
Yeah. You kind of need that. You know, you never know what situation you're going to be in or if, like, someone's coughing. But then, like, you have all the normal girl stuff. Like, you'd have, like, your wallet. I would have an umbrella because, you know, I like being prepared for situations. You'd have tissues.
Yes,
especially for mucus, because I can't help
it. And sinus problems.
Yeah, exactly. I have both, so, you know, there's that. I don't know, and then, like, a bunch of other random stuff that would just end up in there. But, like, it would be a heavy bag.
You have to say the inhaler, girl.
Oh, yeah, I have the inhaler. I always have the inhaler. It's, like, usually in my pocket at work.
That's a lifeline.
It is. And I don't think it does a whole lot for me, but I like having it as a security blanket.
Exactly. I had to have a little bit extra when I was going through transplant. I had to have my oxygen concentrator, extra batteries, which weigh a ton, let me tell you.
How much does an oxygen concentrator weigh?
Okay, it was 8 pounds. So I had to hold that on one shoulder, and then I had my bottomless pit of a purse over here with the charger, with the extra batteries with
How long does the battery last?
Like 5 hours. It depends on how many.
If you're like in class or whatever, you need more than one.
Yeah, exactly. So I only need one for class. But I mean, like, if I was going out for one of those, weekly,
your weekly like outing.
Yeah, then I would need extra. So I had to hold all that. I usually made Jeff hold something. Sometimes he just hold my oxygen concentrator for me.
Right.
Or vice versa. He'd rather hold the oxygen concentrator than the purse, let's just be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But, just having all that and plus what every other girl has, you can add makeup in there because, I just have that makeup girl.
Yeah, I'd have some type of makeup.
Yeah, like lip gloss, the essentials.
Like all the little things, but they just like add up,
Mm-hmm.
But I remember when I had to like switch from the big bag to the little crossbody. I've had to sacrifice a lot of things in my bag, CF wise, that I would normally bring. So it's like very condensed. It's like Purell inhaler, and then I have my pill box with like every situation known to man. Like I have my enzymes. And then, I get pretty bad migraines, so I have different migraine meds depending on what CF meds I'm on because I can't take certain ones with different things. So it definitely adds up, and people don't think about how heavy the bag is. I usually have my friends carry it if I have a big bag, so there's that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then don't get us started about going somewhere for a night.
Oh my gosh, I know. I posted about that this week.
That's ridiculous.
Oh, it's the worst.
Yeah. So then we go from bottomless pit of a purse to we think about how we get the salty skin.
Right.
Salty skin. So sometimes you need a snack in your bag. I forgot about the snack.
Yeah, I usually would have a snack too. Actually, in my crossbody, I always have a snack.
Exactly.
Like I have a granola bar or something.
Especially on these hot summer humid days for you. Humid over there. It's not humid here. Very rarely it's humid, but you need a salty snack because of the fact, well, we're going to sweat out all our salt. We have salt crystals coming out of basically everywhere. I feel like when I look at my skin in like August, I can literally, if I've been outside for like, at least an hour, I can like brush my skin and it's like, oh, hey, there's a lot of salt there. It's also like stained my clothes pretty much because. Exactly.
Yeah. And it's just kind of gross.
Yeah.
Or at least I feel gross.
Yeah. Like I feel so disgusting when I'm all sweaty and that's not ladylike in a way to be like.
But like whatever. Everyone sweats.
Well, what are we going to do? We can't help it. But so I found like with being a girl, we wear makeup and we've noticed that I love makeup.
Yeah, you do. And I love it too, but not to your degree.
Yeah. So I always find that when I have my foundation on, it gets cracked and stuff because of the salt.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And
then
all
it's
that
like my face just doesn't look cute anymore once I hit like 3 hours of makeup.
Exactly. And it's like all that effort you put into it.
I know. And I'm like, everyone, we need to take pictures right now. Like, right when I get somewhere. Because guess what? Yeah. I'm going to be all salty in like 10 seconds.
Exactly.
Oh, you can't help it, though.
It's crazy.
But I feel like there's a lot of like body image things when it comes to having CF and being a girl. Like, I know we've talked about in the past the whole CF belly.
Yeah.
And I think some people have it worse than others, But I think everyone has it to some degree.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the people that have, issues with digesting food, which majority of people with CF do, but there are, people in the CF population that don't. So I don't think they necessarily have it to the same degree, but I'm sure they get it too. But yeah, that can definitely make you feel self-conscious, especially in the summer. Like wearing a bathing suit and then you go eat like the tons of food that we have to, and then you look like you're pregnant.
Like a funnel cake or something.
Yeah.
You just go to the boardwalk or something and eat like a huge funnel cake, and then you come back looking like you're 6 months pregnant, and everybody's like, "What just happened?
Oh my gosh, what happened to you?" My favorite's when like different friends with CF will just like send you a picture. Like, from the side after they eat, and they're like, 6 months pregnant, or did I just eat, like, a hamburger,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a struggle. I remember, and I think I said this in a podcast before, that I got asked if I was pregnant.
Did you really?
Yeah, like, he was probably, like, 9 years old, so, I had to sit him down and say,
at least they were young.
Yeah, I was young and I had to just.
I remember this story.
Tell them. Yeah, tell them that, you shouldn't ask anybody that they're pregnant if you don't know.
No.
And then I told him, I have a digestive issue with my lung disease, and that's what happens.
Right.
And, it is self-conscious. I feel like a lot of girls have that self-consciousness about it. And it's okay to have a CF belly. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
It'll go away. It's not like permanent. It goes away. And sometimes you just gotta go to the bathroom.
Right. Which is a whole other thing with being
That's a whole new other struggle.
I know. Like, I think we got this question before about, like, farting in front of a significant other or just in front of people. And just, like, how often we have to go to the bathroom,
Yeah.
It definitely was interesting in, like, school. You know what I mean? Because, I don't know, when we were younger, like, I don't know, I would get self-conscious about that kind of stuff.
You don't want to poop in public.
Yeah. Especially because, like, I don't know, when you're a girl, like, I think we're, like, not supposed to actually poop ever. You know what I mean?
Someone told me that. They're like, girls don't poop.
I think, like, some guys actually think that.
Yeah, no, I think they really do.
I hate to break it to everyone out there that thinks that, but we do. Yeah.
Especially with cystic fibrosis.
But I feel like when you're, like, especially younger and you're a girl, like, you don't want to go use a public bathroom to do that. Or, like, the school bathroom, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I always went and found a private one of the family ones.
Yeah, those are the best. I
searched those because I felt more okay doing it there than I was in somewhere that's public and people could be around me.
I agree. Yeah, no, I definitely try to look for, like, those private bathrooms. I still do that now, like, if I have to,
I always do. And I think I always feel cleaner in, I don't know why.
No, I do too.
In like a private one rather than the community one, even though anybody could use the private one, but still there's more people, I would feel.
No, I agree. So I think that's hard, especially, I just think when you're younger, it's a lot harder. I think at this point in my life, I just don't care. But, I think it just takes time to get comfortable with. But it's definitely not glamorous.
Yeah, no, it's not. So since we're in the midst of the bathroom situation, girls have other issues as well that
we do.
Men do not.
Yeah, I feel like our male listeners will love this portion.
Yes, male listeners are going to love this. Yeah. But we're going to get into that menstrual cycle.
Yeah,
because it's a big deal, actually. People don't really know these kind of things, but I feel every time I had my period, my lungs felt completely awful. Yeah. Horrible. I felt so heavy chested. I didn't feel like myself. And I've learned that it's because of the estrogen.
Right. And I feel like there wasn't, especially when we were growing up, there really wasn't a lot studied in terms of estrogen and how that affects girls. You know what I mean? Like, I think that they knew to a degree it did, but I don't think that they really knew enough to be like, maybe you should be taking, like, a form of birth control that'll kind of make this more livable. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. But the period is, like, a big deal. Like, for as long as I've had it, I've always had that just, like, heavy chest feeling. You know what I mean? You honestly almost feel like you have the flu. And then you just feel like you really can't expand your lungs. Your mucus, or at least mine, gets thicker and more sticky, so it's really hard to get anything out. And then it took a long time for us to figure this out, but my hemoptysis is triggered by my period.
I feel like mine did too. I felt like I had more, not like you, of course, but I had some when I had my period.
Right, and I've talked to other people like that too, and it was just like, it's never been a correlation that I think people have been aware of. You know what I mean?
I don't think so. And I feel like when women go into puberty, the lung function your CF progresses faster, I feel. Does. What I've seen in myself, and probably in you, that once you hit your puberty, it just started kind of declining a little bit slowly. But then all of a sudden with me, of course, I just tanked. But I feel like people don't understand how women have such this menstrual cycle, and it just is horrible on our lungs.
Yeah, it kind of cracks me up, though, when, like, you hear, like, your normal friends that don't have CF, or, like, even chronic disease. Like, I feel like people with chronic disease, I'm sure different chronic diseases, it has similar effects in just, like, different ways. You know what I mean? But, like, you hear, like, the normal people of the world be like, oh, my God, I feel awful because I have my period. I'm like, I'm suffocating. Like, I can't breathe because I've got this going on. Well, I feel like I was hit by a bus.
And then you have to think about the pain.
Oh, yeah.
We have cramps, plus we have the digestive issue, which makes it a little bit more...
That adds a whole level to it also.
Exactly. So it's just so much.
I feel like prior to, starting my menstrual cycle, when I was younger, my CF really didn't affect my lungs too much. Like, I never had a high lung function. Like, I think some people start off and they have a super high lung function. Others, like us, we never had 100% or even close to it. But, like, my CF up until that point was solely just a digestive problem. Like, I did the treatments for my lungs, but it was mainly, our focus was always gaining weight because I had such a hard time with that. And then it was like, I hit puberty, get, like, my period, and then it flips, and it's suddenly, like, I have all these lung issues. My lung function just decides to, like, drop after that. And it's just, like, a constant battle of trying to figure out, how to get that to stop. And it's like, impossible, Yeah.
I think I went in the hospital a lot more right after I started my period, to be honest.
I never went in the hospital until I started it. Like, when I think about it now, I was never hospitalized. And then once I hit, like, I guess, like, 13, 14.
Yeah.
That's when I was hospitalized for the first time. And ever since then, it's just been, a constant, like, battle of how to keep your lung function stable,
Exactly, with all the women challenges that we have.
I know.
Hence the period and the menstrual cycle.
I know, but, like,
it's really hard. I don't want to say it's not hard to be a man, but it's really hard to be.
I think it just adds, there's, like, a couple extra hurdles that girls and women with CF have, so it is what it is. You just got to figure out what works for you. If any of you have that hemoptysis with your period, feel free to slide in our DMs.
Yes.
Because it's taken me a while to figure out how to get that under control.
It's hard.
It is. And then when you add the migraines on top of it, they're like, oh, we can't put you on anything,
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Just a mess over there.
I know. I'm a hot mess. I'm like a medical mystery. It's okay.
But it's fine.
Yeah, it's all good. But yeah, so, I mean, continuing with the glamour of CF and being a girl, we've talked about this before too, but, I don't know, about the whole mucus production and just spitting up mucus and spitting it up in front of people, or if you're like Gunnar, coughing onto someone and, like, actually spitting mucus on them. I haven't done that yet, but I'll let you all know when I do. That was a hard thing for me, though. Like, growing up, I always used to swallow it, which, thinking about that now, is probably the most disgusting concept.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Now I obviously spit it out every time I cough it up, unless, like, I'm really in a situation that I can't. Like, I'm taking care of someone, I can't be like, wait a second.
Wait a minute, let me...
let me go spit into this trash can. Like, that's just gross. But, I know growing up, I just always swallowed it. And then I hit a point where it was like, I got, like, comfortable with what I had going on. And my friends were all pretty supportive, so I would just start spitting it out in front of everyone.
Exactly. I remember... I don't know if I really swallowed it a lot of the times. I think I was so normalized by just spitting it out with my family that I just did it.
Yeah.
But I know that I remember this one instant. I was getting out of class, and me and my friend were walking, and I had to cough up a lot. I had a big cough attack, and it was a lot. It was a good amount. So I was like, she's like, spit it out. And I was like, okay. And I spit it out, like, on the ground. And she looked at it. She's like, ew. And I was like, well, I had to. And she's like, I know, but
sorry, but I'm not.
Yeah. And, and at school, it was high school too. So there's a whole bunch of people around, and you don't want guys seeing you do that sometimes.
No. Like,
especially in that kind
not at that age. Like, I just feel like there's just such more of a struggle when you're younger.
Oh, it is.
You know?
You want to fit in so much as a girl. You want to be
You want, like, guys liking you and, like, you know.
Yeah, and then you want to see a girl spinning up.
Right. Yeah,
you know, in that situation, you have to. You have no choice. Right. If you want to live and not have bacteria in you, then you have to do it.
You gotta spit it out.
And I understand ladylike things. It's definitely not.
It's not, but I
totally understand
I do
it
all the time.
And yeah, I feel less ladylike when I do it. But, you know, sometimes you just have to. If you don't have a tissue or something, just do it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we've all learned that I prefer to spit it in a tissue after our episode of I throw up if I see, like, if I see too much of it, because I'm a weirdo. But that's okay.
It's funny because it's your own stuff.
Yeah, I can't do it. Even, like, patient stuff, I'm like, let's say I had a patient that was coughing. Normally I wouldn't, but, like, let's say I did. Occasionally it'll happen. I'm like, here, spit it in here. I don't want to see it, though. Go throw it away.
It's funny because my nurse at the doctor's, she can't look at it either. It's funny.
Does she work, like, in the CF clinic?
Yes.
That's weird to me.
It's just funny. I
feel like if you work in, like, a respiratory clinic, you need to just be okay with it.
Yeah. No, it's true.
You know?
Yeah. So basically what we're saying is this is not ladylike. And we all go through this whole stage of feeling like we are not lovable. Yeah. And that's girls. I think it's girls for the most part. Boys, yes. But it's a different thing with girls, I think.
Yeah, because, I mean, like we've said, like, the whole body image thing. And then you're spitting up all this mucus. And then, I mean, this is a whole other topic, but just how much we eat. Like, I mean, I eat more than most guys. So, you know, you put all that together. Huh?
When you're on a first date, Leah.
Oh, my gosh.
And you want to eat, like, all this food. And
I do it, though. Like, okay, so, like, you know, my, like, couple of years of, like, single life, because before that I was, like, a serial dater.
Right.
I would go on, like...
a good catch, people.
I know, right? Let's just drop that back in.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so, like, the couple of years that I was, like, full-on single, you know, and I would go on dates, you know, like, here and there. And it would be, like, a first date, and I'm just, like, going to town, eating whatever, because... Hey. I need the food. I also don't, I don't really care. And, like, if you can't deal with me eating that much on a first date, then you really can't deal with my life because it just gets worse.
Exactly.
You know, like, I just keep eating more and more the more you get to know me.
Well, see, my ideal thing is In-N-Out Burger, right?
Right.
And I eat a good amount of In-N-Out Burger, so if you can't handle that, then bye.
I don't know if you've had this experience, but, like, just with, like, people I've dated in the past or, like, ex-boyfriends or whatever, like, I've been with people that are literally like, you don't feel good because you eat too much or, like, you're not eating the right thing or, you know what I mean? And,
I've had that, actually. I have had that.
Yeah, I've experienced that a lot, and I think that's also why, like, I got to a point where I was like, first date, like, I'm downing a burger because let's see how you deal with this. But, like, that used to really get to me because it's like, you know, like, my life is very different from yours. I have a really hard time gaining weight, you know, like, I know this isn't normal.
I break down way different than you.
Right.
Yeah, I break down way different from you. I don't absorb it.
Right.
And I do still eat those healthy foods. Don't get us wrong.
Like, I eat a lot of healthy food, but I do hit a point where it's like, okay, I need a greasy burger because I need to keep this weight on.
Which is fine. Know? That's what...
But it's not like that's all you eat, you know what I mean? No. Like, it's not like you just constantly eat unhealthy food, but you, like, you need a mix. I'm sure people
we have a good balance,
this, but that's okay. Right. Yeah. It's taken me a long time to figure out how to keep weight on my body. Yeah. I finally have it figured out.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing.
Just keep doing it.
Right?
Whatever.
But that's, like, a hard thing to hear, and then it kind of ties back into that whole feeling of, you know, you feel like you're not lovable because... I mean, you have people, like, putting you down for, oh, you're not eating the right thing.
They're, like, judging you.
Yeah, it's just very judgy, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't know, that got to me for a long
time. It's not comfortable. You want to be comfortable in relationships and in friendships as well. You want to feel
habits and friendships, too. It's not just, like, you know, dating a dude. It's also, like, you know, right. So, and I'm sure people even have family members like that, you know, that just really don't get it. And, right. So,
it happens.
Message here is you are lovable. You just need the right people in your life that understand what you got going on.
It's so true. You know? Like, for real.
I feel like it took me a long time to, like, find the right people to have in my life, you know?
Yeah.
Even, like, friend-wise and just with everything.
Yeah. People just don't understand, and then you get the people that actually do want to come in and understand, and then they kind of see how you are a woman, and you have all these challenges that they have, plus you have all these other things.
Right.
Which goes into kind of how long it takes us to get ready.
Oh, yes.
Because a normal girl...
Yeah.
A normal girl, our norm friends, how long do you think it takes them to get ready in a normal day, just going to school or, you know, work?
I mean, I think a lot of girls put makeup on before they leave. A lot of people take a shower, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what is normal.
30, 40 minutes, 30 minutes?
I would say 30 minutes to an hour.
30. Okay.
You know? Yeah, that's what I would say.
With CF, we have learned that it takes probably 10 times longer.
It takes me forever.
To get ready and even go to bed. We didn't even talk about going to bed. But in order to get ready and get up and moving, to do a normal thing, just a normal, every day, I go to school, I go to work. It takes 10 times
Well, it does, because it's like, okay, so you wake up in the morning. I usually have to wake up 3 hours before I have to be anywhere.
Right.
Like, and that's not giving myself time to put on makeup or take a shower, okay? If I want to do...
This isn't even put in the perspective that you're on IV antibiotics.
Oh, no. Like, this is 100% healthy. Let's say I'm going to work. So, like, when I go to work, thankfully I wear scrubs, so I don't have to think about my outfit.
That's good.
I do not wear makeup. I do not take a shower because I'm just going to get gross anyways because I am doing gross things. So I think, like, the first thing is when we wake up in the morning, we don't feel the best, you know? I don't think anyone feels magical in the morning, you know? But, like...
Oh, you feel like you have so much junk in your chest.
You feel like you're drowning.
Yeah, and you need to get that up, so you go straight for the treatments because you want to have some relief.
Right. Well, that's what I do. I go right to the treatment. Yeah. So, like, get up, start my treatments. All of us know it takes me at least 2 hours to do those. If I'm not feeling well, which the past week I haven't, I've upped that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So right now in the morning it's taking like 2.5 hours. And then there could be that time where I'm spending just extra time coughing up a lung and trying to get mucus out, which... I mean, that does happen a lot right before I go to work. I try to get as much out as possible because, especially when I, like, first get there, I'm not going to have as much time to get mucus out.
Yeah.
Well, when I start work, because I'm, like, trying to get all the patients started, at least for the day. But, you know, like, if I want to do my makeup and take a shower and look like a human being, I mean, I have to wake up, like, 4 hours before I have to be anywhere. And that's just, like, an absurd concept to people. You know? Like, I am so jealous.
Say if you have to work at 8 o'clock, you'd have to get up at 4.
Right. So, like, I used to have to go into work at 7 a.m., and I started getting sick all the time because...
You didn't have time.
I mean, I was waking up at, like, between 3:30 and 4 every day.
And that's ridiculous. You need your rest. And
and then I was having hemoptysis solely from how early I was getting up. Like, my body didn't like it. So,
your body just is not happy about that.
My body, its response to anything that it doesn't like is hemoptysis. It just it does.
That's just what it is.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, the body doesn't like this. But yeah, like, I just don't think people think about that. And then, like, when we go to sleep, it's the same process, you know? So.
And so, well, like you, I take my showers at night.
I do too.
So at nighttime, you do your shower, then you have to go do your treatment. You have to eat, do your treatments, do your vest, and then actually get ready for bed, wash your face, you know, do all this stuff, brush your teeth, the normal stuff, the norms. And that's a lot.
No, it is.
Then you have to go into bed, and you're kind of wired. I don't know about you, but
I get the same way.
At night, I have the most energy of the day.
Me too.
I want to clean. I want to do a whole bunch.
That's when I get everything done, is at night.
Exactly. So it's like we have to go through this whole day doing therapies and medicines and all this stuff, plus do our regular days stuff.
And like, I don't know about you, but like, okay, so like when I've like went away with friends, like when I go with my family or like my boyfriend, it's a little different because like they know what my routine is every day. But like when I go away with friends, like my friends are super supportive and understanding, but I think people sometimes do get annoyed like when we hit day 3 or 4 because it's like, all right, we just spent all this time traveling to a place and then I'm waking up 4 hours before we have to go anywhere. And then we're active all day and then we come back like super late at night and then I'm up for an additional like 2 to 3 hours. And then people wonder why I'm tired.
You know? Why are you so tired? You don't do anything. I'm just kidding.
I know. I'm like, I'm breathing with like no lung function here and I am getting no sleep.
Exactly. Yeah, it's hard.
It is.
And we go through a lot as women.
We do.
And then you have to, I think in a podcast in the future, we'll talk about doing, having children. And
yes, definitely.
Going through that stuff because that's a whole nother situation.
Yeah, I give all the moms out there that have CF credit. Something I think about a lot is just like how you do everything that you do.
Yeah.
And especially with just the process of pregnancy.
Exactly. And
so we're definitely in the future going to have some people on that have went through different situations in terms of pregnancy, either had a natural birth and were pregnant or tried surrogacy, possibly adoption, you know.
Yeah.
Just kind of to talk out all those different scenarios because I personally feel like I don't really know enough about it, you know.
Well, I don't either, and I was told when I got my transplant that I would never be able to naturally have a child.
Right.
And then they said, you know, you have surrogacy to look at and then adoption, which is if I ever want a child, that's the route I would go.
Yeah. I have no clue what I would do. So I think it would just depend on when that time comes in my life, what I would want to do. But stay tuned for that. I think we're kind of, you know, hitting our time here where we need to start wrapping things up. But yes, shout out to all the CF girls and women out there. You guys are tough people. If you guys have any, you know, girl problems that we didn't touch on that you know, want us to talk about in the future, feel free to slide in our DMs.
And that's at breathe_in_pod on Instagram.
Yes. You can also reach out to us at Salty Cysters. That's sisters with CYSTER. And we are on Facebook, Instagram, or you can email us saltysisters@gmail.com. So thank you all for tuning in with us without Gunnar. This was like our own little girl talk.
Yeah, and also we have the Breathe In tank tops on our Salty Cysters Etsy store.
Yes, we do.
And they're going
fast. So if you want them, I would order it now before they're gone, especially because they're only $15. Like,
and it's the beginning of summer. We need those guns out, people.
Yeah, and we want to see your pictures in them, so we should come up with a hashtag for that.
Well, they can hashtag Breathe In Pod.
Yeah, but like a fun hashtag.
Oh, okay. Well, we're gonna have to think about this.
I'll hit up Laura,
but we'll think about it. Yeah. All
right, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. Can't wait to talk with you guys next week.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.